All right, so this is the new year. We're in 2024. This is my first post on this platform this year, and I kind of wanted to get back on vision. I've made a couple posts on hold the vision, make your vision a vibe, different things when it comes to manifesting and bringing forth, your goals into fruition, like making them come true, in other words. So I was just thinking, and I know a lot of us sometimes get discouraged and frustrated and hopeless, after a while. But it's like you have to think about it. How long in your life have you really even had a vision? Like you may have had a goal or dream or two here and there, but I mean like you held on to it, like constantly went back to it, constantly made plans on it and had like sat there in that vision and thought about what it looked like, envisioned what it would feel like. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to stay for that long of a time. My thing is, when you're going against like the poverty programming, when you're going against all of the subliminal messages that keep you stuck in negative thinking, you have to realize you have not geared your mind to create the reality that you want. Your reality stems from your mindset. It stems from your beliefs. It stems from all of your thoughts and the way you see your life. So if it's been revolving around this hardwired sense of negativity, what do you think your reality is coming up? Even if it's like skepticism or paranoia or just worst case scenario or just, even racism, like those feelings and thoughts and mindsets and experiences hold a certain dark cloud over our reality, and it keeps perpetuating. It keeps us in what I like to call like a trauma loop, like just this vicious cycle of consistently, going through the same things over and over. And I started thinking about this because it's like me and my husband, we were like doing like a vision board and just talking and all this stuff. And then it's like other stuff started creeping up, and I'm like, oh, but it's like the more and more I'm aware of it, it's like when you try to do something positive and then negative stuff creeping up, it's like I'm releasing that too. I'm releasing the whole idea that when you do something positive, then there's resistance, then there's negativity and all these other things that want to come about because you're doing something positive. It's like we have to totally shift all of the societal, or if you want to call it matrix norms, that really don't help propel us into the positive realities we're trying to manifest. And so what I'm here to tell you is keep holding on to the vision. It's going to take more than a year. It's going to take more than 2 years for some of the things. Some parts of the vision may come quicker than others because some are easier than others. But you have to just continue to believe in yourself. Know that God is working through you and not just outside of you, that you have all of the necessary tools, and your God, the creator, has equipped you with everything you need to do what's best for you and your family, and sometimes for like greater mankind. But yeah, that's all. Just hold on to the vision. That's the theme of this year. Hold on to the vision and start executing the vision. So yeah, just start really getting clearer on what you want to tackle first. Yeah, your vision may encompass a lot of goals, a lot of little things, a lot of big things. Try to focus on one or two. Try to focus on income accumulation first. What's the first thing that's going to generate income for you? Because that is the main step. Once you get out of survival mode, you start to open up yourself to a whole new energy, for one. So your first goal should automatically be to get out of a space of just paycheck to paycheck, working 9 to 5, being dead broke. Like my goal is leisure and luxury, a life of leisure and luxury. Because you may say a life of leisure, but that may be, you could be homeless. That's leisure too. You don't have nothing to do. You just chilling. But no, on a serious note, so it's like, just be clear on what you want and start focusing on the small steps you can take. If it's going back to school to get your bachelor's, if it's going back to school to get your associates, if it's going back to school to get your master's, PhD, whatever, if it's picking up a trade, if it's taking this online course or webinar you've been putting off, if it's doing your own personal research, But just be mindful of how you invest your money, because that is all investment. Anytime you spend your money on something that's meant to better yourself, it may not be stocks, it may not be crypto, it may not be any of these other types of obvious ways to invest, but anything you're doing to put back into yourself, that's a form of investment. And yeah, just keep God first. Understand that God is already giving you the goal. Like, you have his blessing. He already knows you can achieve it. It's just up to you to believe it. It's just up to you to get through all of the crap and the naysaying within yourself. Half the time, there's really nobody outside of you saying this. You can feel like it and you can think, yeah, maybe so. But you haven't yourself personally heard the shit. You probably just feel the energy like, oh, they hating or yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, we really ain't hearing too much firsthand hating. It's usually the voice within our head that's keeping us stuck. So that's why I'm big on like mindset, because that is the basis of a lot of the reality that we create. But yeah, hold on to the vision. All right, so part 2 of, my 2024 resolutions is march to the beat of your own drum. I've said this before, but I'm saying it again. So a lot of times what I like to do is to kind of get out of the collective mindset. Not that it's always wrong, but you want to find the mindset. So I always say it's like a hive mind. Like, we're all in one, we're all connected mentally. There's like a collective consciousness, but there are subsections of the consciousness. So you have like different groups within the main group, if that makes sense. So just to give an example, you may have like the conscious people, like the conscious community. That's a different level of culture and thinking within the collective consciousness. It's kind of like the culture around the consciousness that separates it into these sub-levels. And that doesn't mean that everybody in the conscious community think exactly alike, but a lot of times that's the tribe that they align in a lot of their thinking, a lot of their practices, and a lot of their different things. So sometimes you have to look at your environment. What was your environment growing up? What collective subconscious level? I don't want to say subconscious. What sub level in the collective consciousness were you a part of? Was it the ignorant, ratchet mindset? Or, was it the poverty thinking, the scarcity, the lack? Was it the entitled mindset? Was it the very confident mindset? There's different collectives and there's different groups. But sometimes I try to go against what I feel like my environment or my upbringing is and that collective mindset. And so with doing that, the best thing I think to do is go against the grain, because not calling everyone sheeple or anything, but sometimes when you see how everybody's going along with the matrix and the programming and all the conditioning, I try to do the opposite. Like the norms, like, okay, so we have January, everybody's focused on new you, new me, like the fitness, the even this resolutions, but there's good and bad. I'm a big person on taking what I want and leaving what I don't. So, but in that, I try to choose to do things against the grain. So when everybody else is doing their resolutions and trying to get on their fitness and diet journeys in January, I try to do that in other months of the year. Because it's like, sometimes when you stick with the collective, you fall off at the same time they fall off. So when everybody in a week or two from now is stop going to the gym, stop waking up early, stop doing all they're supposed to do, they fall off the bandwagon because you're so attached to that and you're in alignment with that collective mindset, you fall off the wayside right along with them. So that's why I try to like let shit die down, let the wave and the trending aspect of it die down, and then I do it. Because I don't want to go with that energy. That energy is impulsive and it's heavily based on it's like emotionally driven. And I want to be in the middle of the balance where there's a conscious awareness attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're just fully emotionally driven, there's the rational and a conscious awareness is kind of detached sometimes. and it's adrenaline, and it's just fear based, and it's a lot of these other emotions attached to it that are not beneficial to longevity and to consistency and to discipline. So that's why sometimes I try to go against the grain, or as I say, march to the beat of my own drum. And it's not necessarily just my own drum. It's like a collective mindset that I aspire to be like. That's what I try to align with. When you're tuning to abundance, you're trying to do things with the collective of people who are successful. You're not trying to stay in the same patterns and it's insanity. It's like you're doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Why would you think you would be rich doing the same thing all these other poor people or these other homeless people doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you learn from their lessons and from their mistakes, and you try to do different. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Short and sweet, y'all. March to the beat of your own drum. Try to align and attune with the collective consciousness that resonates with your reality and helps you feel like you will get to that space of your reality more successfully. That's all.